You know the type of guy that was a jock in high school but ended up becoming a huge nerd? You know, someone that's not afraid to make a fool of themselves on the internet. And someone that likes to shoot polaroid a little too much. Did I say huge nerd? You know, just an ordinary, everyday guy. Well, that's me. I'm just another Chris. Welcome into another exciting live stream here on Just Another Chris YouTube channel. I'm not streaming on Facebook this time. That was just kind of an experiment that I did last time. I had a pretty busy day today that ended up wrapping up early, so I thought, why not go live? Because I just got this 2 days ago, actually. So I mean, it's still new to me, and I'm going to be making a full-on breakdown, real-world use with the Instax Mini Evo. That's coming soon. So I figured, why not give a little insight, a little first look, first thoughts, first impressions of this? Because this is one of the most highly requested video for me to make. And I hear you, I have heard you. I've been trying to get my hands on one of these for the last, the last 6 months or so, almost a year. I think that's when this actually came out, but a long time. It's been sold out everywhere, and now they're starting to hit shelves. So I went and picked one up. And so we're gonna give a little first thoughts. Let me know any questions or concerns you have about this, because there's been some interesting messages I've gotten regarding this camera that I'd love to address. So if you got some, leave them in the comments. Let's have a chat. Yeah, Evo. I got some stuff to say about it. Hey, cool conductor. Not cool, by the way. Not cool. Like at all. You've completely filled my screen. I can't even see comments. So that's not cool. Let's go back down into page 3. Thanks for that. Yes, you are. Glad to see you in here, Pab. I know your time zone differences can be a little tricky to join in on my live stream. So glad you made it. Glad to see you in here. And Ryan, please bring the cookies. All right. Please bring the cookies. All right, I gotta go back a couple pages. Here we go. Hello, Felt. What's going on? What is going on? Okay, so Mini Evo. This thing, if you don't know what it is or have been curious about it, this is actually, I feel, a very big step. Shocking to some, maybe, but for me, I'm just gonna say it. This is a step forward. Yeah, this is a step forward in the instance photography world. And a lot of people are going to give me hate for that, and I don't care. Please, leave some comments down below. Send me some hate mail. P.O. Box is also in the description. Please, write me some hate mail. But this is a major step forward in the longevity of instant photography. That's why I really wanted to get one of these, just because it bridges both modern day digital with vintage old school analog film. It's both, and it's pretty cool. So it's a digital camera. Yes, this is a digital camera that has a built-in Fuji Instax Mini, I guess it's, for lack of a better term, a printer, but it's not really a printer. There's no ink. It's actually using film, so it's kind of a built-in developer. I don't know, or exposer? But for lack of a better term, it is, I guess, a printer. They even write print on here on one of the buttons, so there is that. This thing is pretty sweet. I've only shot a few photos with it, and I've already been blown away by the quality as well as the user experience of this thing. It's quite unique, and it's pretty cool. I love the fact that it's actually fairly compact. It's small. I can mostly put this in a pocket, definitely a jacket pocket, and take it places. And most instant photography cameras, they're quite big and bulky. Even the SX70 cameras, they fold down, right? Actually, I have one right here. It's the sonar. I mean, look at this thing. It's huge still. You can't really fit this in your pocket. And I did once, and it broke it because it fell out. It just broke some of the shell. That's why there's tape right there. I wish I had my overhead camera set up. I haven't set that up yet. That way you can get a better look at this stuff. But that'll be coming soon. That'll be coming soon. But yeah, I really enjoy. I should rephrase that. I've been really enjoying using it for the last couple days, and I already have some neat ideas that I can use that we'll get into in just a second. Slaying new here. Oh, you're new? Welcome. How's it going? Thanks for joining in. Sand. I love how generally don't know anything about this camera. This is going to be interesting. Thank you so much. Yes, it's pretty cool. It's got some fun features. It has physical buttons and dials and switches. I think that's really cool and fun. Most instant cameras, if not all of them, don't have a lot of those features. It's point and shoot, which is great, as you guys know. I actually love that aspect. But it's still kind of cool every now and then just to have a little extra dial or a little manual switch to flick. And this has a couple. There are filters that you can apply to your images that are kind of fun, but kind of gimmicky to some degree. But there's also, I guess it would be considered like profiles or maybe white balancing type of things that give it different appearances and looks. And you can even print in black and white utilizing color film, which is kind of interesting. And if you like shooting black and white, this could be a great camera for you, because if you guys know, or if you are an avid black and white shooter, black and white film for some reason is more expensive. Maybe it's just because of like supply and demand situation. There's not a lot of people wanting black and white film, maybe. But you can pick up double pack up of film for, I mean, if you go to Walmart, $14. Everywhere else, it's $20 for a double pack. I did leave links in the description to pick this up, as well as some film. But black and white film, it only comes in a single pack, and it's about $10 to $15, depending on where you go. So, but you could make your photo black and white and print it on color film. Again, I'm using the word print for lack of a better word, because it's not really a printer, even though it does kind of print. It's like it's like a new thing. It's a new category. So it's still pretty sweet. And the way you develop your photo once you take it, because that's the other thing. You're not committed to the photo. If you take the shot and you don't like it, you can just delete it, which is fun. It helps save on cost. But once you've chosen the one that you want, it has like an old Film Advance dial or switch knob flick thing, and it shoots it out, which is sweet. It also has a tripod mount. That's handy for lots of reasons. Pretty cool. All right, let's take a look here. What we got? I've had a ton of fun with mine. The filters / effects are fun to play with. Yeah, I mean, some of them are pretty gimmicky in my opinion, but they're cool to be there, and I might be able to find a use for them down the line. But I do like options, and it's fun. Waiting for the day Fuji has 4x5 and 8x10. And well, you're gonna wait till you're dead, because that's never gonna happen, unfortunately. But The reason I'm very excited about this, though, because maybe there's a chance that we'll get something different or more versions or just different types of things coming down the line, more opportunities, because more people might be interested and getting involved in instant photography. That's why I'm excited about this, because this right here is not necessarily for, you know, the what's the word I'm looking for? This is really for like the next level up for enthusiasts, basically. The casual people out there. This is digital. They don't have to think about how to shoot instant photography because they're very familiar with digital photography, right? And this acts just like a digital camera, just like your phone would be. You pull it out, take a photo, you're done. You can't really necessarily do that with an instant camera. It doesn't really work that way. You have to pay attention to lighting and the conditions and things because it utilizes a light sensor to expose your image and things like that. So this could lead to other things in the future, which is why I'm pretty excited about this. Yep. Okay. There we go. Hey, Chris, do you think it's worth $200? I plan to buy it. So when it was first announced, I was like, no way it's worth $200. Get out of here. No way. And so I knew I was going to get it eventually because I know people were asking about it and wanting to get or have me do a video on it. And again, if you're just joining in, there will be a full video coming soon on this. This is just my first thoughts and impressions of it. And who knows, maybe they could be squashed after the video once I make it. But you guys probably know, but again, if you are new to the channel, hey, welcome. But I like to spend time with the products or the camera, whatever it is, before I make a full breakdown video. I don't like watching other people's videos where they bought it and then they open it out of the box, they like talk about the features, they snap a couple shots and be like, here you go. I don't care about that information. Like, I'd rather know if it's actually good long term. You know, so I spend time with it and really put it through its paces because on paper things are great, but in practice they may not be. So that's why I'm going to maybe start doing these types of videos, or excuse me, live streams, talking about first impressions when I get things and then do the videos later. I'm going to experiment with that. But that's, again, why I'm doing the video or this live stream today, because I wanted to let you guys know about it because I get a lot of comments asking when I'm going to get this and do the video. But going back to your question about it being worth $200, I get your concerns. It's expensive for an instant photography camera, but it does offer a lot of things that most don't. One, it's a digital camera, but two, it's also a Bluetooth printer. Again, I'm using that term loosely here, but you can take photos off your phone and transfer them over and print them out, which is neat. And you can also, like, that way you can edit photos and have them exactly how you want it. I know to some, that's sacrilegious. I literally have gotten that comment. I've literally gotten the hate messages, which is great. Send them my way, saying, "How dare I even how dare I want to promote this product because it's not a true instant camera." You know what this is? This is a modern day instant photography camera. It's the year 2022. We live in a digital age, and if you're stuck in the world of, say, like in the analog world, that's great. I'm in it, but I'm also, you know, it's practicality. We still live in a digital age. If you want to share your photos, guess what? You have to digitize your analog film, your analog photos, whatever that be, even like VHS stuff, and post them online. You have to do that. It's just the way. This is the world we live in. So that's where this is like it's like a foot in both doors, and that's exciting. It's really exciting. So if this camera does well, there's a possibility we might get some other really unique hybrid type things down the line. So it is pretty exciting. So is it worth $200? I'm still on the fence about that, but it's not that much more expensive than like the Polaroid Now Plus. Don't get that camera, but it's only $50 more, and it can do a lot more stuff. But again, there's pros and cons to all of that. There you go. This kind of reminds me of the SQ10. Whatever the digital camera is, I wish something for the Instax wide. Yeah, no, I agree. So this technically is a reiteration of, what was it called? The Lee Play? I think that's what it's called. I think that's what you're referencing. Pretty sure. I think it did square film. And it was a digital, but it was a little bit crappier quality camera. This still has a crappy web camera on it, but when it translates to the mini film, it looks pretty dang freaking good. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. And so, yeah, this is technically the second edition of that, but just a little bit more advanced. Or it's a lot smaller, and it's more, I don't know, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot cooler. The other one is huge and bulbous. I forgot about that one, actually, until literally just now. Don't you think it's kind of a cheat to shoot digital on film? No! Come on. How would it be a cheat? It's photography. It's a photo. You know, it's great if people are like, I mean, I've gotten the comments like, hey, I'm a purist and I will never, ever buy this camera. Okay, great. Fantastic. I've talked about this multiple times in the past. Like, so for me, I love instant photography. I have, as you probably know, a lot of cameras, a lot of them. And I do lots of videos on the topic and talking about this. You know, I release 4 to 5 videos sometimes a month on the subject, right? And I know I can't be alone. I mean, I might be a little bit more extreme just because I have a YouTube channel, so I have a lot more cameras probably than most, but I think a lot alike with a lot of fellow instant photography shooters. But we make up like 1% of the actual sales market to Fuji or even Polaroid. We're a very small drop in the bucket. Even the purists, if you will. This is not marketed to us. This is marketed to the whole world. And we just happen to be like in the corner, or at least most of us, being like, no, it's not real. It's not a real instant camera, which I think is not a great way to think about this. This is going to get people interested in this community or this hobby that we like to do. But yeah, I think sorry, I went off a little tangent there. But this is, I love that it exists because I know it's going to stir up the pot. It's going to start up conversations. And no, it's not a cheat. It's not a cheat. It's still a camera, and you can take the pictures off of the camera too, which I haven't gotten to. There is an SD card slot. You don't have to even print the photo ever. Again, print loosely. You can take it right off and put it onto your computer and never even bother with the other half of it. But if you're out having fun and want to give a cool, unique little keepsake, like if you're a wedding photographer, pop this thing out, shoots like a bunch of photos, and then print them like when you have a break. How cool is that? And you're giving them to your clients, making a little extra money. Well, not necessarily the money on the film, but just making it look a lot better or a lot cooler, a little like, oh, I'm going to remember you for whatever other jobs. This is a very unique piece and cool thing to have. Is it the only one you should have? That's up to you. That's the whole other topic too. Like when I go out, let's say I want to go out to, or tomorrow I'm going out to a friend's little house party. This is a nice little thing I can just throw in my pocket. And then if I want to take a quick photo and print something out and leave it there for them, how neat is that? And it's cheap. The film is cheap. Instead of leaving a Polaroid photo, which costs way more. And this thing, if I want to bring my SX70, it's gigantic and huge. Or a box camera, they're big. Everything serves a purpose. It's just a cool extra tool to be creative. Yeah, I get lots of these comments all the time. And it's great. Keep them coming. I want to feel your hatred towards this thing, which it shouldn't. It's a product. If you don't like it, hey, whatever. Move on. The other black sheep, the Polaroid Lab. Everyone's like, oh, it shouldn't exist. Oh, you're fake photographer. Who cares? It's not fake anyways. The photo's real. I don't know. Went on a tangent there. My apologies. Though I have a great not camera questions, options on hand what I think are epic. Opinions on hand turkeys. Like to make them still after like kindergarten or what? Let me know. Yeah, and I've been enjoying this thing. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It is expensive. It's again $200 camera, but in the spectrum of it, it's only about $50 more expensive than the Polaroid's flagship camera that you should not buy. Just don't buy that camera. But all these other companies that make some instant film cameras, like Mint, I think their cheapest one that Mint makes is like $350 or something like that, and then they go up from there. well, they jump dramatically. They go up to almost $1,000 for the next ones. And then like Nons has some, they're like $600. Sure, they are real instant photography cameras because they are lens to the film. And that, I get where people come from and like that. I do like that. I would say I prefer that. If there was a lineup of cameras and I had to pick just one, I probably would choose one of those over this. Now, that's not to say that this isn't something great to have and use and put on your shelf and have in your little arsenal of tools to be creative. Or if you are in, like I was saying before, if you do this for a living and you are on a model shoot or doing some headshots for like a senior graduating college or high school or whatever, and you're snapping some photos digitally, well, you're not going to just give those photos to them, are you? You have to go and edit them and process them, do your thing to them, and they have to wait. Imagine pulling this out, snap 3-4 shots, hand those to them right there on the spot. It's pretty cool. Or, heck, even shoot them on your phone real quick, throw on some basic editings while you have like a few seconds or so, and then print them off with it. It's just a cool little thing to have, I'm telling you. If you're a working professional, this could be a great thing. It's small, it takes up no space in a camera bag. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. It's great for sharing photos both online and in person. It's a sharing is caring camera. I would totally agree, especially Instax Mini in general. I would say that is a sharing is caring type of formats. They're cheap, they're small, they fit in pockets and stuff. It's pretty handy. I recommend it. That's a great talking point. I was shopping for a Polaroid camera. Someone bought all the Polaroid film in the country. Oh, comment got cut off. Where is it? There it is. Country. It is a very small country, but still. What country are you? Where are you at? With every film, all the film. That's crazy. Thanks. I'm new to your channel, and I like the way you answer. Thank you. I try to be transparent and honest as possible. And yeah, I'm kind of the black sheep in the instant photography world, and that's fine. Everyone's welcome here. the land, what's it called? The land of misfits and misfortune or whatever. I guess that's where I'm at. Some people don't recommend this one for its tiny sensor. Ooh, comment cut off. I gotta figure out how to fix that one. Why the comments keep getting cut off. I gotta adjust that. But I don't care as long as it provides digital photos with Instax Vibe. Exactly. So I just launched the podcast. If you guys don't know, there's a brand new podcast. Only one episode. I interviewed Dennis from Chromatic Parts. He does modifications on cameras, which is a whole other controversy. People don't like, but. I was working on the next episode of that, and I was considering talking about basically like this type of thing, like Polaroid Lab and these digital type hybrid cameras and the community and how they are not perceived to be something that should exist and stuff. And I just find that so fascinating and interesting as to why people don't want more unique creative outlets. Yeah, creative tools to bring out your creativity. That's not the way I was meant to say that, but I just think everything serves a purpose, and why limit your creativity with just one camera or one thing or one way of doing stuff? Like, I mean, this is the whole same topic that it's still a thing, which is kind of crazy. Like when film in the 90s, or excuse me, when like towards the end of the film life, when it was like in the general population, when digital cameras started coming out, right? And all these photographers like digital, it's not real, blah, blah, blah. It's the whole thing. And it hasn't really gone away. But now we're getting very specific in the fact that the instant film camera that comes onto the market with a digital camera on it is that, you know where I'm going. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm sure I wrote a lot of my thoughts down prior to all this. This stream wasn't planned. If you just joined in, thank you. I got done with some work a little bit early, and I thought about why not go live and talk about first thoughts on this. Because I've been getting a lot of comments and messages over the last couple of days because I posted on Instagram that I got this and the review was coming, and I got some people that were a little perturbed about that about this. They were curious about my thoughts, but were also like, this thing should just go away and never come back. Should have never been made. Just like, wow, why? Does it make no sense? It's a good conversation starter. It throws people off guard, but soothes the mind. Yeah, and also kind of going back to somebody else who was, I can't remember. They're talking about the camera sensor. It's like an old 90s, probably not 90s. It's probably like a late 2000s web camera sensor in there, and you would think that's horrible quality. And yeah, I mean, obviously our phones got crazy sensors in there, and they're gonna look great. But you don't need that crazy of quality to have it exposed onto Instax film. It's small. And I gotta tell you though, I wish I had my other camera set up so you can actually get a close-up view. Oh, I put it away, never mind. I have a couple of photos that I took. They are crisp. They are very sharp and vibrant. And yeah, you can tell it wasn't taken with a natural Instax camera or any sort of instant photography camera. It does look, like you transferred it, just because of the depth of field that's either there or not there, depending the highlights and shadows things. It's more like there's like a dynamic range in this a little bit, and dynamic range on instant film isn't at all the same. Therefore, mostly the lack of dynamic range in film, or more specifically with Instax and Polaroid film. So you can tell, but it doesn't necessarily take away from, hey, I'm holding a photo in my hand. This is still cool. 7 miles? Wow, that's a country? It's only 7 miles? Like, wow, that's interesting. Wow, never knew. But enough about some of that. But this thing has some cool features that I thought I'd kind of talk about. It's pretty sweet. The fact that you don't have to like commit to the photo makes it kind of fun too, because then you can if you run out of film, let's say, you're just done taking photos. Not with this. You can walk and continue and take photos and then print them later or transfer them off the device and put them onto your phone or your computer and then share them online. It bridges a lot of gaps. Now, this wouldn't replace like one of those like pocket the like point and shoots digital cameras, like the Cyber Shot or whatever. Do they even still make some of those? I don't even know if those are even being made anymore. But this thing won't replace that. It's still kind of like a toy camera. You don't get a lot of the manual. I don't think you get hardly any manual control. I haven't dived that far into it, and I personally wouldn't even bother using those features with this thing, just for myself, because that's not what I like to do with instant film. But you do get some control over some stuff. Like you get some exposure compensation. You can turn a flash on or off. There's a macro option, and then there is a white balance features in here, so you can change some of the white balances to match the scene, which is helpful. And then the filters. I think that's all you got. But there are more features in here, or like in the menu, that I haven't really quite dived into. So I will definitely be doing that for the full review. Now, there's one thing I was curious about that I might test maybe as a separate video entirely. But if you remember some of the videos I made in the past about the app for the phone, it's called the Nomo Cam. And it mimics Fuji Instax Mini, or just Instax photos in general. It mimics the quality of that and gives you a digital version of an Instax, more specifically in this case, an Instax Mini photo. And I thought about using my phone, taking the shot, crop out the image part, because it does give you the border. So you can like share it online and stuff. It's kind of cool. And take that border or borderless version of it and transfer it onto the Instax, the Evo, and print it out. I thought that'd be kind of fun to see what would happen, because it would be like it would be a mimicked Instax Mini camera. This does not mimic an Instax Mini whatsoever. And so mimic an Instax Mini one and then print it on Instax Mini film. Something I'll maybe experiment with. Maybe as a separate video, maybe like a short or something, a YouTube short or a reel on Instagram or something. But I thought that'd be kind of fun. And I'm experiment. You know me. Evo equals best thing to happen to pet photography. That is a good point, and that was something that happened last night. I'll tell you in a second. Some pets just won't cooperate, and you waste a ton of film. That is 100% true, and that is a note that I wrote down. I was at my friend Caleb's and Alex's house. They're friends of the channel. They've made appearances here and there. I was over at their house last night. We got together, had some food, some drinks, playing some Halo. Oh, been a long time since I played Halo, and they have their dog and doesn't cooperate with cameras. And that was one of the topics that we were talking about because I brought this with me and I was able to take a photo. And in fact, I think, I don't have a memory card in this, so I don't know how many photos it stores. Probably can't see that, but there's their dog. I was able to get a photo of their freaking dog, which is cool. Can't really do that on anything else. Even my dog, Paco, he's sleeping on the couch out in the front of the studio. But he's a tough one to get a photo of. He's gotten better. Normally when I point anything at him, he would run away. But especially a camera, so I've been working with him to try. And he will hold still for a bit. I'll just point a camera at him. But then the whole other problem is that he's all black. So it's very difficult to even get one exposed of him. But anyway, I digress a little bit there. I was thinking Polaroid should make a similar camera to the Evo, kind of a hybrid. I'm wondering if that's what they're doing because they keep teasing that they're coming out with something new next year that's going to rival the cameras of the 80s or the 70s and 80s. I think that's what they said. What the heck's that? And people were like, "Ooh, a new SX70 camera." I'm like, no, that's never going to happen unless it's an I-type version, which would be freaking sweet. It wouldn't be an SLR camera. It would just be kind of just a folding type, maybe a folding like I-type camera, which I'm in for. But that's it. It'll never be an SLR. It won't be glass lens. It won't be any of that stuff. But I'm also wondering if they're doing something similar, but with a Polaroid, to be in competition with this. They teased something that because people were really upset that they didn't release a camera this year and they released the music players. And so they're like, well, hey guys, don't leave us, don't hate us. We're releasing a camera next year. That's going to rival the cameras of the 70s and 80s. We'll see. We shall see. Polaroid hybrid, I'd love to see the features. Yeah, it would be awesome. It really would be. It really would be. Yeah, you get new tech like 15. Really? That's interesting. I gotta look up this country. Spaco. Yep, he is the best. He probably won't make an appearance. He's kind of, like I said, he's camera shy, and he knows when I'm on camera. He's just napping on the couch. Hey, Paco, you want to come say hello to the fine people of the internet? No, he doesn't want to. But yeah, I know. How cool would it be if Polaroid did something like that? That would be fun. That would be something they've never done before. I do applaud them for keeping their version of a printer as analog as they possibly could. I think that's super cool of them, and just for their brand and their aesthetic. Even though people hate this thing, but they're it's not Bluetooth. You don't send a photo to it. It's still a working camera. It's a full-on, actual, legitimate camera. And if you do it right, you can actually use this as a macro camera. And I've successfully taken a few photos with it. It is very difficult, but it can be done. Did I share those on Facebook or Instagram? I think I did. Yeah, I shared those recently. No, I did not. But I shared them in the video I did on this not too long ago. Earlier this week, actually. This video came out. A follow-up video on how to get the best photos. But I applaud them for keeping this as analog as possible, like it's still a camera. Unlike Instax, where they're just Bluetooth and then you print it out. But hey, it's still, teach their own. It depends on the type of person that wants to use it. Not every single person that goes and buys a Instax camera or Polaroid camera is a die-hard instant photography shooter. They're just a casual person. They're just somebody that wants to have something fun. They'll shoot 1 or 2 packs a year at most, maybe. But oddly enough, there's enough of those people that those are the main market that these companies are selling their products to. It ain't us. We do play a factor. Don't get me wrong, but we are not the main. We're a small drop in the bucket in comparison to all the rest of the people that are just the casuals, just using it for fun. And I would say I'm mostly on that side of, like taking it seriously, but it's mostly for fun. You go on my Instagram page, the majority of the photos are just of like my friends or animals or just toy. Like today I posted some toy photos. I'll experiment, try to be creative using the cameras and stuff, but mostly it's just like what I think instant photography is for. Moments, friends, capturing things like that. But yeah, no, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of, the neon signs and the cliche hipster film photographer photos on there. There's definitely some of that. But yeah, I think I would fall more on the side of like, hey, this is supposed to be for fun. And why is everyone taking it so seriously? It's just a camera. It's just, who cares? It's a company that's trying to make some stuff. And you should support them because you want them to stick around and keep making it. Fun fact for Paco has multiple names in Mexican. Paco can also mean Pancho, Franco, Francisco. Nice. Fun fact about Paco, he is from Mexico. That's why I named him Paco. He's a rescue. I got him, he was about 5 months old. I guess he was found on the streets of Mexico. But I got him in Seattle. I don't live in Seattle either. The story thickens, I know. I live near Portland, Oregon, on the Washington side, though. But I was up visiting a friend, and I got him and rescued him there. But he has his own green. I call it his green card papers, but it's not really. But I have a document with like his this agent with his like ID badge and everything like scanned on there, like for getting him across the border and stuff, and his papers to allow him in the country. I just think it's funny. It's not real green paper or green card, but I just like to call him that. But don't know his official birthday, so it's just Cinco de Mayo is his birthday because it's probably around the time. Because when I got him in September. Yeah, I think they said he was like 4 months old, and then I was like, okay, that's right, 4 or 5 months old. I'm like, that's close enough to Cinco de Mayo. But I got him like several years ago. Tangent on Paco. If he'd come over here. But he's being a butt. He wants to go home. I think, well, actually, probably just wants to go run. There were some people outside. My studio is next to another studio, but it's a dance studio. And so there were kids walking by, and he loves kids, so he was going crazy. I'm surprised he's not barking right now, to be honest. But I digress. The Evo, will you be getting one? You should get one. You should. If you've been sleeping on getting one, I would get one sooner rather than later because when they pop up for sale, they're gone. They disappear, and then they start getting price gouged forever. For the last 6 months, these were like $400 on Amazon or on eBay. That's how much they were. And there's not very many of them even on Amazon right now. But I did leave a link for the true retail price of $200. There are some on there right now for more. Don't buy those unless you don't really care. I think the one that I did link, it's not on Prime. It's not on Prime. Not Prime shipping. It's coming. It's directly from manufacturer type of thing. There are a few other ones on there that are Prime, but they're double the price. So I guess that's more of your call if you want to get one. But I am so far have been super pleased with this. And again, I've only shot like maybe a pack through this, and it's been pretty fun. And I really can't wait to dive more into it. I'm going to be working on a full in-depth real-world use video, and that'll be coming soon-ish, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I don't want to wait too long, but I also want to spend time with it. Like I said, I usually want to spend at least a month with the camera or product before I really give my full, like, hey, this is amazing, you should buy it, even though I'm kind of already doing that right now, I'm aware. Because it kind of speaks for itself in this situation. It's not like, it doesn't have a light sensor like a lot of these other cameras or all of the instant photography cameras. And like the Polaroid now, don't buy it again. But for instance, with that camera, if you're inside and the sensor doesn't really matter because it knows to use a flash. And that works good. pretty much solid every single time if you're using that indoors. It's just when you go outside, the sensor's all wonky. And if I was a person that was reviewing that camera and only shot it inside and said, yes, go buy that camera, guess what would happen? You get really annoyed because you're probably not an inside shooter. You go out and all your photos are going to be overexposed. And you're going to come back to me and be like, you're what? You told me to buy this. You're a terrible person now. So yeah, that's why I like to spend time with these on here. But this one kind of speaks for itself because there's no light sensor to really worry about in that case because it is digital. Like you can use this in the dark and it just has auto ISO, things like that. So you don't have to think. You don't have to think like an instant photographer with this. You think it more as a digital type of thing. So there's that. But it's pretty fun. Been thoroughly pleased. The Lab app did not work with my Samsung Android 5. I think that's an extremely old camera if I'm not mistaken. So that would be the reason. That's not really their fault. They just have to cut it off somewhere. So there you go. Maybe Dave can help you. Who's Dave? Like Dave, Noptop Dave? I don't think he knows apps. I have a pack of the comic book border Instax I've been saving for a special project. Any ideas? Actually, you know what? Maybe if you're interested in this, I don't know. But I've been considering doing a toy photo contest. Like a toy photo shoot. Use your toys, collectibles, whatever you got, and shoot some photos utilizing instant photography. So maybe that'd be a good opportunity to do that. The little comic book strip stuff would work great for that. I posted some on Instagram today. It's kind of on topic, actually. There's an Instax Mini printer like the Lab. I did a live stream, not a video, because this idea originally came from Dave Knop from the Knoptop YouTube channel. Originally came from him. He did a video on this thing called the Key Pix. It's a batteryless, version of the Lab, and it takes pictures of your phone screen and it translates them onto Instax Mini film. And you just hand crank it to get the photo out. It's pretty cool. No batteries, it's neat. But he found a way, or he just was like looking at it and was like, this is a macro camera. It's dying to be a macro camera. And yeah, you can use it as a camera, and that's what sparked the idea to use this as a macro, but way more difficult. The other one, piece of cake. And so I took a bunch of photos last year with it. I never posted them, so I posted them today, and they're on toys. They're super tack sharp and really neat. So, and then last week I posted some other toy stuff that I had done in the past. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should do a little fun photo contest. I'm trying to find something maybe I can throw in for a prize. I like to give away stuff frequently. I recently gave away some Stranger Things stuff. I gave away a lens filter pack as well for the 1-Step 2 and 1-Step Plus cameras. So I want to come up with a fun idea for it. So that's coming. So that's a long about way to say, hey, maybe use that for some toy contests. Yeah, I got plenty of toys too, even though I know I can't really participate, right? Can't really win my own prize. That would not be cool. But yeah, the key pick thing is super cool too. It's super cheap too. It's $30, I think, or less. Yeah, it's neat. It folds down, it's flat, and then like you pop up these doors, and then it has a little piece that sits on top, and you put your phone, and you can print it out, and yeah, it can be used as a camera itself. It's a fixed shutter speed. There's no light sensor. There's no batteries, and it's quite effective. You can get some cool photos. It takes some practice, of course. It needs some light. So I have a little pocket light that I put off to the side, and then get in there and finagle a shot. And you have to make sure the focusing. Well, there's no focusing because it's a fixed focus. So we came up with this idea of just using a piece of tape on the side, and then when that way you know the distance and take your photos. Pretty cool. But I digress. If you guys want to check it out, though, I mean, he's done a full video on it, and I did an interview with him last year on a live stream, him talking about all of it. So if you want to see that, YouTube's been super helpful now, and now there's a live streams page that you can look at now on YouTube, which is cool. That's super handy. And so you can go there and check out that if you are so interested in seeing more about that thing. I did a bunch of macro content last year, actually. That was pretty fun. I did the Polaroid macro camera. I did this macro. I did the macro key picks. Maybe I should do some more macro stuff. It works good for toys, yeah, because it's like a perfect like scaling type of thing. It looks cool. Anyway, I digress a little bit. Will you be getting the Instax Mini Evo? Let me know in the comments. I would be very curious to know your thoughts. If they're hatred, please leave them here. And I have a P.O. box. You can certainly send handwritten hatred notes to me too. That would be pretty cool. Ordered an Evo about a week ago. Now the wait. Yes. So I was lucky and fortunate enough because I was about to order one from Target, but I found locally, which I never get stuff locally. My area sucks for stocking of anything. You would think where I live near like Portland, Oregon, it would have a great, because we have our own like there's the port. We have a freaking port that this stuff comes in, but like our stores just don't stock some this sort of things. So I was very surprised to see that it was in stock. So I was able to pick it up. The neat thing about living where I live is that I live in Washington, but I live only about literally 5 minutes away from Oregon. So there's no sales tax in Oregon. So I can just go over there and buy all my stuff and come back to Washington. And so I was able to buy this and not have to pay any tax on it because I picked it up in Oregon. So it's pretty cool. Like the DIY one from Lomography? Which one? They talk about the macro stuff? If you're still talking about that, no, it wasn't. It was a company called Keypix, which is spelled Kiipix. Keypix, something like that. It's neat. Check it out they're on Amazon. They're $30 or something like that. Not very expensive at all. And I recommend it. It's fun. The macro stuff with it's super fun because it kind of feels like you're hacking the system, which kind of are. It feels like you're not supposed to be doing it, and you're getting really good results. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. What? Yeah, I made one. Howdy from, I can't pronounce that. New Mexico. I knew that. Well, howdy. What's going on? Oh, there we go. That's why I couldn't pronounce it. But yes, howdy. How's it going? How's it going, JT? I don't know which, excuse me, I don't know what DIY lomography one you're talking about, but hopefully that answered your question about the macro camera from Keypix. Don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. So there's that. But it's cool and cheap. And I haven't done this yet. Dave hooked me up with this as well. It's on the short list of videos to make. It's a similar sort of thing. I don't know what it's called. I don't think he knows what it's called because I'd asked him. But when I saw him filming the Halloween special in Ohio, he pulled this camera out, no batteries, and it shoots Instax mini film. It's pretty sweet. We didn't get a ton of amazing photos because there's a little of a learning curve, at least from being outside. We were shooting outside direct sunlight, and we didn't put, so it doesn't need batteries to function. That was the one thing, but it does have a flash, so you can put batteries in it to just power the flash. So there's that too. And we were outside using it without the flash. And was it without the flash? I can't remember. We filmed some of it. And some of the photos were either super, super overexposed or just really underexposed. So we got to figure that one out. Yes, I have friends in Vancouver. They do all their shopping in Portland. Exactly. It's great for certain things. Technically, for anyone living in my area, actually not even in my area, I think technically it's everywhere, nationwide. But it's impossible to enforce, as far as I know. But I have heard some friends got a ticket for this. But if you are pulled over and an officer sees you with, for instance, like alcohol in the passenger side or bags of whatever stuff you've purchased, and if you are transporting stuff that you bought in Oregon or a state and across state lines, you are still technically required to pay the sales tax. There is that. How would it be totally enforced? I don't know. Just kind of like just like you're supposed to get like a permit for having garage sales. Like, how is it supposed to be enforced? But there's that. But I do know of one person that got a ticket for, it was alcohol though. They bought a bottle of alcohol in Oregon. It was cheaper. They brought it back over and they got pulled over. The cop saw it. He was like, "Where's your receipt?" And then they showed it to him. Like, "Yeah, where you live in Washington though? Nope. You gotta pay the tax." So he got a ticket and then something else. I can't remember what happened to all that. I should ask them. It was a couple of years ago that happened. He might have gotten off, but who knows? Anyway, major digression. But I probably had to have paid tax on this. I mean, technically, it's a business expense. I will be paying tax on it regardless, so I don't have to worry about that. I just don't have to pay it up front. Anyway, that was fun. That's fine because I'm about to wrap up anyway because I got some stuff I got to do. But thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate you. And if y'all are interested in learning more about all things instant photography and other retro cool things, and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I post quite often and go live randomly. I want to get on a schedule for live streams very soon. I'm honing in on potentially doing them on Fridays, if not Fridays, on Saturdays. So that's still being determined. It's hard to figure out a schedule based on just my day job schedule, which my day job is this stuff. I just do it for other people. I edit videos for clients and I shoot, client videos. And I'm also a part of other YouTube channels, one mostly, and that teaches people how to live stream actually. So finding a schedule around that has been very difficult, but I really, really want to bring back live streams. And today I found a gap in my schedule. I got ahead on a project, got done a lot sooner than I thought I was going to get it done. And so that's why I wanted to jump on and talk about this real quick. So I really, really want to get back, like I said, into a live streaming rhythm. I used to stream weekly, just once a week. Any recommendations for, excuse me, for a store selling Polaroid spectrum film? No, sorry, buddy. They're gone. Gone. It's going to be eBay. And then even then, I probably wouldn't recommend anyone buying Spectra film at this stage of the game. Because even the stuff that was being produced as for Spectra film in 2019, yes, when they cut it off, but even when they were just in production, there was issues with it, and that's partly why they just stopped producing it. So at this point, it's probably damn good chance, 99% chance it's not going to work anyway. So I would stay away. I would stay away from it. And we go to Washington to buy fireworks. Yeah. Wait, where are you at? Where are you at? Canada or something? We'll see you tomorrow for the club call. Absolutely. Which one are you? Who are you? I don't have you been in the chat for YouTube? I don't recognize your username. Who are you? Identify yourself, please. But yes, if you guys aren't part of the Spitfire Club over on Patreon, not tomorrow. It's not tomorrow. You're wrong. It's Sunday. Yes, you almost had me worried there for a second. It's not tomorrow. It's Sunday. But yes, over there in the Spitfire Club, you get a lot of cool perks, behind the scenes, extra videos, extended videos, the podcast extended as well. You get early access videos. You get a monthly photo sent to your door every single month. And now, for the first time ever, which is this Sunday, we are doing our very first ever group call on Zoom. This one's going to be a kind of more of a meet and greet announcement, talking about what's going to be coming along for this, because every month there's going to be a call where You may see some special guests pop in, like other YouTube creators. There's going to be topics. We're going to create our own little contest, maybe. We're going to set goals for each other. It's going to be really fun. Plus, you get access to the private Discord server. But there's an open one in there as well for free, so don't have to worry about that. But if you want to join, consider joining the Spitfire Club. There are a couple tiers if you're in that sort of thing. And the t-shirt. Exclusive members t-shirt. It's pretty cool. Oh, you are in Oregon. Okay, cool. Oh, my bad. I inherited one and blew $30 on a crystallized. Yeah, don't do that. Don't buy Spectra film. It's gone. Tips for shooting outside in direct sunlight. Point away from the sun. That's really all they got. And then maybe underexposed by one stop. That's all you got. Oh, yeah. Boom. Yes. Boom. TL70 that I fortunately couldn't buy from you because I had to buy this thing. I almost bought the TL70. I was this close, but once this came up, I was like, dang it. No one has ever asked me for a video, not once, on the TL70. This, though, in like 1 month, 100 people easily. So, yeah. I had to be smart about my purchase. But I do want the TL70 because I think it'd be fun to try out. We'll see one day if that will actually happen. But we'll see. But yeah, yes, Sunday. I'll see you Sunday. Not tomorrow. It was going to be. I think I had mentioned, hey, how's Saturday looking? But something came up on my end. So I officially chose Sunday. And I announced that in the over there on the Patreons. But anyway, there you are. I'm gonna wrap up because I got a couple things I gotta do before I head home for the weekend. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will. Oh wait, I didn't roll the credits. There we go. Credits are rolling. Thank you, members. Thank you, people, for helping support this channel. And if you guys haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I've got a lot of cool stuff in the works coming your way, and I post content just like this weekly. Lots of stuff. It's getting fast. I'm putting out more and more. Do I need to slow down? I don't know. It's been pretty fun, so probably not. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.